Hi everyone, it's Katherine here from Chaos Creates. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm here to share with you a layout for Pinkfresh Fridays, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm creating a double spread pocket page, and I am using the Pinkfresh Studio collection I have just received in a Kitaholics kit. Now it is the Happy Heart collection with a little bit of life right now. I think there's a few papers from there, but the die cuts are both from Happy Heart. So as you can see, I'm just going ahead and pulling out all my photos that are in those pockets. Now I knew I wanted to use this beautiful floral paper, and so I sort of placed that there on my first card. And then I really wanted to use some of the 3x4 cards from this paper, from this cut apart sheet. So I'm just going ahead and cutting these out now. Now I try and trim this out with my little Fiskars trimmer here, and yeah, I don't even get it straight. So I just pull out my big scissors and I cut those apart. I try and straighten this up, but yeah, I don't end up using this card in the end. So I'm just going ahead and laying this out. Now, this spread I think was from sometime in February. I haven't done the title sort of card here because this is actually, I've got a title card page, I think, with some photos. This is sort of the center photos of this week. Yeah, I probably include too many photos in Project Life, but I love documenting the everyday. So I've gone ahead and I've gutted that floral paper because I knew it would make a really lovely border for a 12 by 12 layout, so I wanted to keep that. I've gone ahead and trimmed down my photo a little bit just to fit on that card, and now I'm just sort of placing everything out. I want to lay everything out first of all to get an idea of sort of the color mixes, making sure that I feel comfortable with those cards, and then later on I will zoom in to show you sort of as I'm working through it. Now I do pull out this part of the cut apart. I think it said summertime. It doesn't end up making it. It was a little bit too square over that photo, and you'll see what happens a bit later on when I pull out the die cuts. So as you can see, I'm just working my way through trying to get cards to fit, and I wanted to use this floral on the other side. Now that other piece wasn't quite 3x4, so I did go ahead and cut another piece that I knew would be 3x4. And then this piece again, I really wanted to use that blue, but no, it's not going to be big enough. So then I go ahead and trim this out. I really wanted to use this sort of, I guess it looks like a ticket in the end, but it's got some check marks. And I knew I could do some journaling on there as well. And then I thought I would use this butterfly card. I needed one more 3x4, so I thought that would work well. That's just really a filler card. Nothing ends up going on that, but I think it looks good. So I'm just trying to work out, still wanting to use that blue, and I thought I could use it with that picture there of Murray, but in the end, yeah, I pull out this cut apart sheet, and now this is from Life Right Now, and the colors weren't quite right for me. They weren't going to match. And again, this same one with the tickets, I was seeing if I could use anything there. But in the end, I go ahead and pull out this pattern paper, which has got all the words on the back, but I was really pulling it out for the other side, which is this sort of blue and green pattern paper. And first of all, I lay it out with this photo of Murray, but I do go ahead and change it later. Now I just trimmed out that photo again, just so that it fit on that 4x6 card. And I'm still working through what I can use in that top photo of Sebastian. So as I go through as well, once I zoom in, I will explain a little bit more about the photos and what's happening in them. So I'm just using my hole punch just to trim the edge of that so that it does look like a little bit more like a ticket. And here I go, I swapped that over because I really liked that sitting on the other blue and green pattern. I thought it worked really well. Now I do need to pick out one more piece of pattern paper for that photo of Murray, and I work my way through and I find this sort of scrap, and thank goodness it's 6x4, and so that's I'm going to use that there, that green, and I do just check out if it's going to work on the other one. And again, I'm still using that blue. I thought maybe I can make it work. You know, can I fit these two things together? And so at the moment, I think that that's going to be okay. And then I pull out these awesome words. So I figured I would use a lot of these. So I have changed that top one to be happiness, put that love as a filler card, the fun down in the bottom right hand corner, and the smile next to the photo of Seb. And then I find this pattern paper And I go ahead and start to trim out a 4x6, and then I flip it over and I find this rainbow pattern, and now that was going to work perfectly with that smile die cut. So I really like how that's looking. And so I'm still working my way through. I want to add a lot of these title phrases or words, and I'm just looking at the back of the packaging there to see some of the other words that I can make work. And I like this. I like this sentiment happy, but it was going to be too big that section. So I'm just looking at what else I can see here. Um, and I find this small happy, and that is going to work perfectly for that photo. He's sitting out on our balcony just watching the world pass by. He loves doing that, and he loves taking his toy out there. So that I've just added fancy, but I'm going to go ahead and change it out for fresh, and that's just a picture of my lunch one day. It was just like a taco bowl. I'd made it home. It was delicious, and so I snapped the photo. And this says unforgettable, and I do pull out extraordinary. That top left-hand photo, and as I go through, I will explain more, but that is a picture of Seb. His tooth had fallen out while he slept. One night, it'd fallen out in bed, and he woke up and didn't know where his tooth was, and we found it in the bed. Yes, so that was a bit crazy. It was so loose, it just fell out. So I'm really happy with those words, and I'm just going to pick this one out that says best. Now I'm putting that on a photo of Seb at his gymnastics class. They're doing a climbing wall, and he's getting right to the top, and it's so awesome to see him just thrive. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull out the floral die cut ephemera. These are beautiful. I know that I'll be using these up. I don't use overly many on this spread because there's not a lot of space, but I use enough, and I really love how it turns out. So I'm just sorting these cards out, seeing what else I can make work. I've added some floral to that happiness. That is a picture of the sunrise when I've been out riding with my girlfriends early one Saturday morning. And yeah, I trimmed down that photo of Seb. So that's him standing there. He just started school, and I do take that extraordinary one off that first card and just leave the unforgettable. So yeah, that second photo in the lineup is a photo of Seb. Now he just started school the day before and had one tooth, and now he's got no sort of front teeth. So I did go ahead and trim that photo down. So I've added a couple of tags just off camera. I've got a whole pile of tags that I can add to, or labels, I should say, that I can add to some of these spreads. Now, as you can see, I've gone ahead and zoomed right in a bit better of picture of what the photos are about. So there's Seb. This was a little bit of a reenactment, him laying next to the tooth. He'd actually gotten and gone into the bathroom, and then all of a sudden, like, he yelled out mum and sort of closed the door. He didn't know what was happening. He kind of was in a bit of shock that his tooth wasn't there. And I went into the bedroom and found it in the bed. So we did reenact that photo, and I took a photo of the tooth in the bed there. And so I'm just going to add this die cut word that says unforgettable, and that's it for that little card. Then I'm going to go ahead and add this photo. Like I said, this was Seb. This was his second day of school, and now has no tooth. He's got a very toothless smile, and I just wanted to, get this photo of him. He was so proud and happy that he'd lost another tooth. So I'm going to bump a few of these titles up on some foam adhesive like you saw in the last one. Some I do stick flat, but yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and add that label, and then I'm going to change out this die cut ephemera. I didn't feel like it was quite bright enough, and I feel like this one is perfect. So while I am doing some of this though, fiddling with this card here, thank you to Joanne for organising this hop. I really love joining in on Pinkfresh Studio Fridays. It is a great way to use up my stash, and make sure you go ahead and check out everyone else's layouts. They'll be creating all sorts of things. So I think there's about 10 people joining in this month. So go ahead and check them all out, and see what else other people are creating. I know I will. So I'm just going to go ahead and bump up this fresh die cut here on some foam, and I like how that's looking. So that's sort of that middle section of the first page. And now I'm going to go ahead and stick this photo down of Murray. Like I said before, he loves sitting out here on the balcony. My desk is right near here, so my work desk, and he loves just sitting there, hanging out with me. As you can see, I'm just going to glue this happy straight down on the page, and I haven't bumped anything up on this page. I don't want the pocket pages to be too dimensional. Those foam adhesive sort of circles that I'm using are they're pretty low, but it does give a little bit of dimension without giving too much. So these two photos are of Seb. Sorry, I sped through that, but they're of Seb. Yeah, we were one night. He was riding his bike and just running around. It was after school. It was great to enjoy some summer evenings. And yeah, so I finished that happiness card. So like I said, that was of a sunrise. And this is the label box that I have. These are just all printouts from Kidaholics Kits. So we get some printables each month. So those labels are just from that. I'm going to use this pink one here with the best and add a floral die cut. And I'm using a mixture of my ATG and wet adhesive to stick this down, and my tweezers to help me line things up. And I'm going to stick best there, and I really like how that's looking. And then this is sort of the center section. Now I don't end up doing this too much. I just bump this love up on some foam on that beautiful floral paper again. And these are pictures of Seb. This is his baby doll that he loves, and he was just taking care of her. This day he decided she needed a bit of a nap, so he's putting her to sleep and tucking her into bed there. I love this softer side of Seb. He's so sweet, and his best friend has the same doll, and so they quite often play with them. And so yeah, I thought this love die cut piece would work really well. And that other one says throw kindness around like confetti, and that's certainly what Seb is doing here. So I don't add anything else to the photos there, just those cards. And now I'm on to the last bit. I do go off camera and do some journaling, but I'm sticking down this, this ticket, and I'm bumping up this floral. And I was considering putting it on the left, but then I changed to the right side, and I'm glad I did, because that gave me a bit more space to add some journaling. And then I'm also going to bump up this fun piece. And that will be sort of nearly it for, putting the die cut pieces. And I will zoom out in a moment. I'm just going to add some enamel dots. Just do a couple of, I do end up taking that one off on the Enjoy. And I pull out these puffy stickers. Now, these aren't Pinkfresh, but I really needed to add the bike here because I was on a bike ride for that sunrise. Now, like you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and add these enamel dots in 3 places on 3 different cards around the spread, and that will be it for my layout. So like I said before, make sure you go ahead and check out everyone playing along. Thanks to Joanne for putting on this. I do try and join in every month. I know I've been a bit absent on my channel. I've had a few technical issues, a lot going on, and so yeah, hopefully you'll see more from me soon. So I'm almost finished there. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you next time. I'll leave you some close-ups. Bye.